Hey, good morning, everybody. Michael Curcio here. Friday, February 5th. Just checking in before we head into the weekend. And I'm just looking here and I'm wondering, I know I've got a 20-year-old daughter and she's going to college and I'm 58. Didn't go to college, kind of had my own plan, which didn't really work out the way I had hoped it would. But it is what it is. And now I'm sitting here at 58 and looking at retirement and don't really have much of a retirement plan in place. But I'm looking at, maybe when I was younger, if I'd looked at things a little differently, maybe I would have gone to school. And, I don't know how old anybody is who's watching this. I think maybe some of you are here because the plan that you had isn't working out, or, maybe it's just not moving fast enough. I read an article last year where there were people, and I'm sorry for being so vague, but there were like 60,000 graduates in a particular specialty, graduated from college just in 1 year. And the specialty they were qualified for, there were only 20,000 jobs in the entire country. And most of those jobs are filled. There may be some openings, but there's 20,000 jobs, but there's already people working at them. So, people go up and, oh, they have dreams and, oh, I'm going to be a computer engineer. My daughter's actually going to school for computer science. And I live right here in the Silicon Valley. And although I've worked in tech, being older, my experience is on older equipment. They want people who know the newer equipment. But I also know that a lot of those jobs, I've done some work as a contractor for Cisco right here in the Silicon Valley. And Cisco has a world headquarters in Bangalore, India. Now, they claim to have three world headquarters. One is Bangalore, India. Um, and I have no idea how big it is or how many people work there. But I know things are a lot cheaper there, so they could employ a whole lot of people there for a lot less money than they can here in the Silicon Valley. And they also have a world headquarters in Texas, which they can do things a lot cheaper in Texas than they can here in the Silicon Valley. So for a lot of people, it might mean, well, hey, you can get a job, but you might have to move, depending on where you live. So, you know, I mean, people who are financially independent, they can live where they want, they can work where they want, they can pretty much do whatever they want. And so, my question is the plan you're on, is the path you're on going to get you where you want to go? Are you sure? If you're going to be a computer scientist or a mechanical engineer, um, I don't know what kind of degree, if you're working on a degree you're working on, but I know, for instance, GE just closed down 5 plants within the past year or so within the United States. So all these people who've got their, the managers who've got their MBAs, and well, the plant made light bulbs. So presumably they had what, like electrical engineers and mechanical engineers who have to design the light bulbs and all these things. Suddenly, all these people's jobs just went away. And so what do they do now? Well, they could find another job, but if you were working in a plant making light bulbs, it would seem to me that the job you'd be qualified for would be working in another plant making light bulbs. And now, since they can't make those light bulbs here in the United States cost effectively, they're making them, guess where? They're making, actually, they've replaced them now. The government says we have to use CFCs, compact fluorescent lights, and they're being made in another country. So, what if your job just suddenly went away? Do you have a plan? Do you have other income? Or is everything, people, you always hear this, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And people go out and they get a job, and, maybe they take their money and they invest it and diversify it into different things, which is what we're usually talking about. But if all your income is coming just from one job or from one source, well, isn't that putting all your eggs in one basket? So, again, the question is, are you sure the plan you're on is going to get you where you're going? Is it getting you where you're going? And do you have a backup plan? Um, I don't really want to talk that much about business. I'm just kind of talking about the things that have made me look at what other options do I have. And so I'm gonna let you think about that over the weekend. I may do a couple quick videos over the weekend, but I'll be back Monday morning, and we'll talk a little bit about where things are going, where things are really going. If you're in the states, and I know a lot of you are in other places. I have a gentleman I've been talking to who lives in Sri Lanka, and he's going to school. I mean, his cost of living there is incredibly low compared to here, but he's struggling too because he can't make that much money here. So anyway, so those are just kind of my thoughts or some things for you to think about over the weekend, and we'll talk again on Monday about where where do you want to go, and are you going to get there? If I mean, if you have a family, do you want to take a vacation? What are your dreams? And do you really have a solid plan to get there? And does it fit in with what's going on in the country you live in or in the world as a whole today? So, Michael Curcio signing off. It's Friday, February 5th. It's about 11:30 here on the West Coast in California, and I look forward to talking to all of you on Monday. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.